Concern yourself with your own pain, not mine. Destroying Kronos shall not change the past, and the pain shall linger, though assert itself less frequently with age. But enough of this. On the morrow, we shall teach you to hunt greater prey.
Hades is a roguelike IP, and while playing Hades 2, I realised that there are many parallels to life between the lines of the game, especially if you have a goal to reach, or have found yourselves at the lowest point trying to climb your way out of the darkness and back to the light. We pick up memories and experiences along the way that can be both boons or burdens, and sometimes the battles just get harder to win, or maybe we are just making them harder for ourselves. Ultimately, like each time we fall, we must get back up to prepare ourselves to start our journey over, and who better to help us prepare us for our new journey in Hades 2 than the Titan, Hecate.
But go with patience, not with haste.
One of my biggest weaknesses is that I go with haste, but with little patience. I think I've always been slightly impatient, however I believe the battles of life only made it clear I wasn't going fast enough, and I only went deeper into the tunnel of speed with little vision. I think we rush to follow the script of life that we are given and try to reach all the things we are told that we should be doing because of our talent and affinity to certain skills, or where we should be by a certain point with milestones to adorn our status. You just end up feeling lost and unaligned with yourself and what you actually want, left to perform for others' approval. It was only recently in the last year that I realised how much of a state of urgency I had been in and for how long. It negatively impacted my health and my progress towards achieving my goals I have set out. I actually realised I doubled down on not needing patience because a couple years ago I would meditate for 10 minutes every day for about a year. I was going through a rough patch after being on a super high, so there were lots of changes happening simultaneously. And because I was meditating to check it off my list and get through the 10 minutes, which actually became a struggle, I just stopped doing it, even though I knew it benefited me. I see that as an example where I lost my way with it because I wanted to make haste rather than go with patience and just observe my thoughts. That's why I love the quote, "Slowly is the fastest way to get to where you want to be," and it's such a great hidden lesson in Hades. Ultimately, you need patience to be able to keep doing run after run after run successfully, more than speed, because speed will make you more likely to make mistakes once you overuse it.
Then you seek to improve this aspect of yourself without rejecting it outright. I see how that may work.
It's easy to focus on the negatives. If anything, we are more wired to do it so we can compensate for them in order to survive. I think it becomes easy for us to dislike that part of ourselves and want to reject it and overcompensate for it rather than accepting it. Take my example around impatience. I sought to give myself more time by not meditating so I could get ahead by doing more, even though that didn't mean that I got any further. The line that Hecate says I find to be very healing in a way, that if we accept our weaknesses and look to balance them out, we can allow ourselves to be more seen, rather than focusing on what we are not good at or can't do. By seeing and accepting it, we can potentially find a solution to balance it out that we didn't think about before. It's that open-mindedness and teaching from Hecate to Mel that allows her to surpass her fated limits.
Time spent being good to oneself is never wasted, unless you overthink it overmuch. We are here. Seize the moment ere it passes.
This nicely leads us onto one of the lessons I strongly believe. I think when we think about investing in ourselves, we think monetarily about saving to make more money, to have more financial freedom. It's very easy to stay close-minded, but the perspective shift of knowing that resting and taking care of your health is just as important an investment as money, or investing in a hobby you enjoy that may help you learn or inspire you, or to actually go and learn new skills you think you might enjoy. There is an array of ways that we can invest in ourselves, to improve ourselves so that we can show up better.
Do not make promises you cannot keep. When tears well up, let them spill forth. They're not so precious that they need be contained.
I love the lesson that our feelings aren't so precious that we cannot let them out and experience them. I think for many emotions, we covet them and keep them close by because sometimes it's easier to be in a constant state of emotion you are comfortable with and know the outcome of than to let it go and discover a feeling you weren't expecting. In the example of Hades 2, it's a state of sadness. I think particularly in our society, and especially as a male, it was seen and still can be seen by many as a weakness to cry, rather than to actually experience an emotion fully so that we can discover how to regulate ourselves and grow. Or another one that I had to learn to let go of was anger. I was so angry at people that hurt me, and rightfully so. However, was that anger really so precious that I would allow it to dictate my own feelings and actions? Because I eventually realized that all I was really doing was hurting myself more, by not being okay with just releasing it. So long as I've learned my lesson from that experience, for me, it is enough to find peace and move on. Does it mean I don't have boundaries or allow these people in my life still? No. It means I release myself from a burden inflicted on me by someone else, yet I decided to continue carrying it on as to justify the hurt. The journey Mel is on in Hades is a long one. It's against time itself, and life can be a long journey too. So, if we don't learn to experience our emotions fully and regulate ourselves, then we are just hindering ourselves in the long run. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe, and look forward to the next video.